Hello world and welcome back to the bench. As you saw from the title, it's Amiga time. Now we're just going to sit down and start working. We got a couple objectives, and to help me get these objectives done is my Amiga mentor over here. So we're going to be working together. Ryan has flown in from the East Coast. He is a podcaster. He is a blogger. You can find out about him at bluewizard.net. Just go to the website and you can see what's going on there. Is that right? Is that a good way to push?
That's the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay.
Definitely.
So if you see some stuff and you're like, wow, is there any other Amiga things he's been doing? The blog covers it. I like to say it's laid out that even a layman can understand what he's doing, because I read his articles after publishing as kind of that person that goes, this makes no sense to me, or this makes lots of sense. And so, yeah, I really like your writings.
And you fix some of my spell checking and other things as well. So
I can catch one thing, and that's really, I had a boss that he said, your job as being a boss, because, I moved into management, was to always find the one thing before you passed it up the chain.
Fair.
So if anybody did work, my job was to always find the one thing and always get that pointed out. So maybe that's why I always do that. I always look at it as be constructive, find the one thing that helps it become better. And that's your job to support your team. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to start with a couple projects, right? We're doing RGB-HDMI.
Correct.
We're doing it on a A500 Plus.
A500, A500 Plus, so the Rev 8 motherboard. So with the 2 meg Agnes, so it's pretty sweet.
We got that at VCF East.
Yes.
And then we're going to move it into the old case and take out what motherboard's in the old case.
If I remember correctly, it's a older Rev 5 board.
Okay.
So it's one of the earlier Rev 500 boards.
Yeah.
This is the last Amiga 500 Rev board.
That's pretty cool. So what do I do with the other one?
We'll figure that out.
Send it with you?
Yeah,
back home? Because we can put it in there and just wrap it up and put it in your bag.
We can figure that out.
Because I literally do want one for my collection. I got this big board of all these Commodore products, and I've just been kind of checking them off as I get them done. It's a big poster. It's a big poster. Maybe I'll put Editor Rich, add that poster in, so everybody can see. So this is part of my hunting things down.
Yes.
To fill out my poster list, which is just an immaterial thing I did to give me goals, because you should always have goals in life.
Yes, you should.
All right, where are we going to start, Ryan? What do we do first?
First thing we're going to do, we want to get the RGB to HDMI ready.
Yeah.
But that means we need to have our Pi ready.
Oh.
So we have a
Chocolate or?
Exactly. No, I don't. I'm kind of an Apple kind of guy. I'm an Apple kind of guy. I'm just really traditional. We have a Raspberry Pi. This is a...
Oh, it's raspberry, not chocolate. Thanks.
All right, this is a Raspberry, right? It's a Raspberry Pi. It's a Pi Zero.
Okay.
This is one of the earlier boards. It's
let me switch cameras. Let's see. Let me go. Give us a small little front area. Okay, so they can see you. Yeah.
That was dumb luck. And it's a Pi Zero. We need to solder the pin headers on.
Okay.
So we need the pin headers on so we can put it actually onto the RGB to HDMI.
And we means me. That
yes.
I have to do the soldering. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'm supervising.
Yes, you are. That's the part about being a mentor, is you get to supervise. So let's get the Haku all powered up.
Yep.
And we got some solder, and we got some ventilation going on,
which is good.
And
definitely.
I need to pull my little chair up, and I need to do some work. So at that point, folks, I think the magic of editing is about to happen.
Yes.
And we'll be back when we do this.
Or I'll make him fast forward through this so you can just see him hit all the points.
That's right. I did lower my chair to make this a little bit easier. I had to cut the bottoms off.
All right, so that's in Fahrenheit.
Oh, look at this.
That's the new one, right?
Oh, look, we're going to test that. And by the way, we're using our Zoe oscilloscope multimeter.
Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Am I on tone mode? Where's my tone mode?
I don't know.
F2.
Let's try it out. Hit the tips together.
One more.
Ohms.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, hit the tips together. Make sure you get a tone.
And where did you find about this at? Where did you find out about that? Were you watching Adrian?
think it came from him, and then I started doing some other reviews as well at the time.
Nothing.
Perfect.
Good.
All right.
We're in good shape. We're in good shape.
I just wanted to make sure.
Hey, it's always better to be safe than sorry. How do I turn it off?
I don't have any
Press and
idea.
hold. Shutting down. This is just a neat
I
little
think I've
box.
only used mine once so far.
Oh,
I still have an old Radio Shack one that I use a lot.
you're right, like a 45-watt stick iron?
Well, no, for like a multimeter.
Ah,
I have an old Radio Shack one from.
God knows how long ago.
Well, I remember buying it when I was much younger.
Ryan, what's next?
All right, so we have this thing out. We can pull that out of your helping hands.
Okay.
We're good to go in that aspect. Now we have to.
Damn, that's one good solder job. I'm kidding. It's not. Go on.
It works.
It works.
It works, right? So we're going to need an SD card
Okay.
at some point here because this isn't going to work without it.
Okay.
We have the RGB to HDMI. You already bought the kit.
Yes. So we do not have to deal with this eBay seller. Thank you very much.
Correct. So we have a kit here. What's going to happen is we're going to take the Denise chip out of your machine, and it's going to sit into here. Notice in the little arc there.
Yep.
This board is, after we put that chip in, is going to go like this,
Yep.
and then
But not the other way.
No, the other way tends to be bad.
Okay, so notice everybody, take a look at this. If you're doing an RGB HDMI, you definitely want it to stick out as a wing. Is that
Yeah.
probably the best way to think about it?
Yep, every one I had sticks out as a wing. I think
And
it
we can
has a
check pin numbers.
Pin 1 is right there. I don't-
Pin, there's a square one. One of those is square.
Yeah, which is right there.
Okay, that's a square one.
So then we're good
Bingo.
to go.
Okay.
So we'll have the SD card in there.
All right, let me go get an SD card.
Load that up, and then we'll have the HDMI there. Because the part of the Pi, it will flash this thing on the first boot. There's a CPLD on there. It will flash on the
Oh, no smoke. No smoke.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, let me find my little box of stuff. All right, that truly is an adapter. That's an adapter.
Please tell me we should have bought
Adapter.
We should-
No. Here's one. 32.
Yeah, it's plenty big.
It was, you know what it's probably from?
Hmm.
Pi Project. Probably from Pi Project.
So you don't care about this?
Nope. This is in my bag of what is this stuff, and I reuse it. Can I see that other one? 256. I'm just going to set it in here so I don't lose it. SD micros are just so easy to lose. They're so small.
They are very small.
Okay.
So with this,
So no one can see what Ryan's up to. But Ryan, verbally, what you're doing is cleaning that. It's what?
It's empty. That's good.
Good. You're going to clean it and format it how?
It needs to be fat formatted, which it already is, so that's cool. And there's a RGB to HDMI project out there. So you need to take all the files that are on that, you copy it over to the root of this disk, or off this SD card. It's going to take a minute here. Just easy peasy.
That is easy.
For your case, this RGB to HDMI has one set of pins connectors.
Yep.
So it's going to be a single button one instead of a 3-button. There are some that are 3 buttons, some are single.
Yep.
So we need to set that up accordingly.
Do I need a button?
You need a button.
How do I get a button?
Maybe.
Maybe we should have bought that at Micro Center.
Unfortunately, I've got like 8 of them sitting on my desk in Virginia, but that doesn't help you
What
at
does
all.
that look like? When you say a button, what's it look
It's
like?
just a single button. What we're going to use for us today is a screwdriver. We just need to make connection across.
And once
that.
you bridge it once, it's like a click. So I don't always have to keep bridging it, as long as it's been bridged one time.
Oh no, that's how you do all the settings for the RGB to HDMI. So you're going to need a button. We're going to have to fish through the case later in life. For this video and getting you set up before I leave, we're using a screwdriver, and then you'll have to figure this out.
How
in
did
the
I
future
not get
time.
a button? I don't know.
I don't.
You know, he even mentioned button on the way to Micro Center. He was
Yes.
talking about it, and it lost my brain. And now that we're here, I definitely remember you bringing up button.
Pi.
Okay, Pi 0. It's upside down normally, right?
Yeah, look for the metal to metal.
Bingo. In,
Yep, you're good.
nice and well seated.
Okay, so we have that. So we're not going to attach it into the RGB to HDMI
Nope.
yet,
Nope.
because we're going to put that in your Amiga.
Okay.
So we're going to go find the Denise chip, which I got to look up which number that is again, because I do not have them memorized.
is you just want to bring the whole blue thing over,
That's kind of where I was rolling.
and that way we work on the mat.
That's where I was rolling.
And we're done with soldering irons, right?
Oh, I hope.
We're done, unless you jack something up, Rich. I think this will work.
Probably.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, look at the size of this, people. Look at this. This is the button we're going to use.
This
Look.
is a temporary
doop,
button.
Doop, doop, doop. It's like, look at that thing.
Great.
I don't even know where I got it. Okay, now let me do this. You hold it, and you press the button.
You're
I'm going to hold this. Oh, yeah, you can see it inside. Look inside the plastic.
Yeah.
You can see the metal come down and touch. So we want to use the bottom ones, is the way I'd say that, correct?
Yeah, as long as we make a connection, don't have a connection, and as long as it's not. Oh, I see what it's doing.
Dude, multimeters come in so handy.
They are the thing.
This is the most ridiculous button that we could ever use for this project. And I think that matches the high shelf rich image. Because you know what now I'm going to do? Is I'm going to make a box
Sure.
that sits behind it, and I can just reach over and go, button! And just slap it. I'll buy a small one.
It's your Amiga. I don't know what to tell you.
Ryan's real big into you retro how you retro.
I try to. I've lived through computer wars. I'm not doing it again.
All right, so that button's there. We got that. I got a screwdriver that'll fit that. When Ryan's done over here, I need to get in some of those drawers. By the way, if you like Ryan and I just talking about projects, check out his podcast.
It's yours too, man.
Because we talk about projects on there all the time.
We do.
So Ryan, what are you looking up right now?
Make sure we grab the right chip to put this thing underneath. So we have to pull the Denise chip out of the Amiga 500, which is going to go into this socket. So we want to make sure we pull the right chip and put it in the right socket. So I want to make sure we're pulling the right chip.
That would be good.
Oh, there's Denise.
It just works.
So you have an 8373 R4. Okay. So this is our Denise chip. So this is what we're going to pull out. And you'll see the notches down on this side, so that's kind of cool. So this is going to go here.
Yep.
We're going to pull this. We're going to pull this out.
Yep.
We're going to transfer this into here.
Yep.
This is then going to go into that socket.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to take the Pi, and it's going to go like this. And then we have HDMI out from this port. Unfortunately, as you can see where the HDMI out is compared to where the back of your computer is.
Yeah.
So something to keep in mind, that's how we're going to handle this. And then that'll get us, and we should be fine. We should have enough space to be able to do this.
I'm going to test continuity real quick, even though I know it's going to work.
Okay.
I'll just take a quick second and test it.
Okay. So we're going to get that out of here in a minute.
All right, I took those two together, and I stuck the female into the male into the female end, and I taped it. And if I did this right, and if I can hold two things at once, no, I can't. How about if I do this? Oh, Jiminy Christmas!
You need some help?
No, I just need to not be a dork.
You're fine. 8373. I'm overly paranoid. I'm sorry.
No, we want to do this once, not 5 times.
Yep. So this is the Super Denise. So we have to set the Super Denise.
Oh, it's a
jumper
Super Denise.
Yeah, from an Amiga perspective,
Yeah.
there was 3 chipsets before. Well, 4 chipsets. There was ICS, which was the really never made it out into the real world.
Good.
That was all beta test stuff.
Yeah.
The Amiga 1000, a couple of those had them. It was like the initial chipset. You have OCS, which is the original chipset, which is what your other Amiga 500 has in it, which is those original versions. You have ECS, which is an enhanced chipset, which is what the A500 Plus has.
Oh.
And then you have the AGA chipset, which was advanced graphics architecture or something. I don't remember. And that was the last one that they did before Commodore folded. So now we have this. Now what I would like to do...
By the way, to regular viewers of the channel, that was more information than you probably would get out of any of my other videos all added together. But go on. That was good technical info. Go on.
But so there's different chipsets. This is all of these chips are the ECSs, so they're the the original, the upgraded original chipset. Effectively.
Got it.
So what we got to do? They're on the bottom of this guy. We're going to deal with that last. That is
I am just doing a quick little.
I'll make sure it'll fit.
Yeah, just make sure they're happy with it. Does that make sense? They don't seem to want to.
They don't seem to be
far.
overly.
Oh, there we go. I
Right,
just had I was doing the Ryan thing, where if you have to push too hard, maybe you shouldn't be pushing.
Fair enough.
And I just gave it a little bit of an extra oomph, and oh yeah, they both slide on perfect. All right, good. So we're set for this in the future. Okay, go on.
So we're going to do that. On the bottom of this, we have a jumper pack.
Okay.
So right now it's set for the Denise side. We need to change it to go be the Super Denise chip.
Oh wow.
So
Do you want some little screwdrivers?
I would like a little pair of
Open the drawer,
pliers.
maybe right here. See if you see anything in there that's helpful.
Yep, right here.
Okay. Yeah.
I want this.
I'm going to move that. I didn't know how big of an issue that would be.
I want that. So we're going to pop these off.
Oh, that wasn't that bad. Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Yep.
That
so
just
we're
literally slid this way, took it out, slid it back in.
Yep, just a jumper for those that are ancient.
Yep.
Or not ancient. So now we made it a Super Denise. If we were putting this mod in the other 500, we would have to leave it at the normal Denise. The Denise gave it a lot of extra graphics capabilities, different resolutions. And
Sweet.
Stuff, so you got to pass the right things through. Do you have some deoxit?
Oh, I don't have deoxit, but I do have BW100.
Okay.
That's what I like to use.
All right. So we're going to take a little bit of this. We're going to spray it. We probably should have done this before. We're going to spray down the chip on the pins. Mm-hmm. We're going to let it sit for a little bit.
So we got plenty of time. I mean, is this imaginary world to anybody watching? Because we can say we let it sit for 1 second. Oh, it comes out pretty wicked fast. Is that one empty?
I don't know. Nothing's coming out. Yeah, this
one's heavier.
This one doesn't have a.
Let me just double check this. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Do you want to practice a push before you do that? Because I know you were trying to be very.
I mean, deoxit's not really that big of a deal, or PW100, whatever.
Oh yeah, this guy's dead. I'm gonna save the little nozzle because I always seem to lose nozzle.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And I'm gonna throw this away in the trash.
And luckily, this stuff is fine. That it doesn't, even if you have a little bit still on the board, it's not a big deal.
And it dries up so fast. How funny! First box I looked in, I had a big stupid button.
All right, so we're gonna let that sit for a bit. And what that's doing is gonna loosen up the contacts. It's gonna make it easier to get the chip out, and that's super important. What kind of chip puller do you have? Do you have a chip puller?
Yeah.
Let's see what you got. Do you want those little things, or do you got the big squeezy guy? That's a keyboard thing. That'll probably work.
A little push, a little plastic push.
Okay. And you have a small screwdriver as well.
How small?
I want a flathead that's a little bit bigger. Not super big. What I'm going to do is put it underneath the chip and twist slightly. You don't pull down to make sure you hit the board.
And by the way, that J-hook one might be the right answer too.
Yeah, that thing's pretty good. I forgot about those.
And
so
I do have other screwdrivers here. This might be, no, that's a torque set. Wow, I got really small precision.
Yeah, that J-hook's a little thick.
Darn it! I got a lot of Phillips, brother.
Yeah, Phillips isn't as...
How's that one look? That's probably my biggest precision. Is that about matching what you already have?
Kinda.
This one might be a little better.
Alright, so we got a little bit of stuff coming out now, so that's kind of good.
Oh, you're already giving it a pull?
Yeah. We got stuff coming out on this side. We didn't take it out of the
Do you want me to get it out?
We didn't screw it in. Did we screw it in?
I don't know, dude. This is the way.
No, we did not. So that's kind of cool. So what's going to happen?
I'm just going to pull it, inch it out.
Just going to come out. So we don't have, on the 500s, on the full ones, each one of these connectors has this thing on the outer side. So we don't have to deal with that. Problem is you want to be very careful with this metal.
Yeah, no shit.
Because you will cut the living heck out of yourself.
Oh, there you go.
from someone that has maybe done that a few hundred times. Maybe not hundreds.
Wow, that actually latches really well for being so darn old.
And for those of you that are interested, there's this cool little Bosch wire stuff across the bottom. It's a little bit of my handiwork from earlier.
Here, kind of put yourself a little further out. There you go.
Not perfect by any means, but we had the A500 Plus has a battery on it here,
Right there.
which we did clean up some, but it still needs it still needs some more cleanup over here so we can take some stuff off of it. Did you ever? You probably never went back and looked at that.
No, I never did.
Okay, so we need to go.
We can go to CVS on one of our trips. Shoot.
We can do some of that. We need a what I use is a little fiberglass pencil, and that actually cleans some of that stuff up. And then we can go get the nail polish stuff to put on top of it. So that's something to go clean up as well.
We should have looked at that at Micro Center.
Uh,
Fiberglass pen?
yeah, they probably would have had one.
Yeah, probably would have.
So now that we have a little bit up, now that metal's off of there, so we can get where'd that other one go? All right.
Here's some here. Do you want to put one in as a wedge, basically, on the other side?
Nope, I just need to. So I go back and forth a little bit. So I'll go in here, and you don't want to be pointing at an angle. You need to go in straight flat. If you go in as an angle, there's a whole bunch of traces under there.
Yeah.
You're gonna cut the living crap out of them, and you're gonna hate life. So you want something that's.
Oh, that's why you're doing just a little baby turn.
You do a little baby
You want me to
turn.
hold the motherboard at all?
Nope. I'm just trying to get underneath the chip. That's why you want something with a really flat head to get in between the chip and the socket.
So it has to have a really flat head, but it needs to be wide. So when you do the little turn, you actually get some distance made.
That's what you're looking for.
If it's not wide enough and not thin enough, you're just going to go in and turn in a circle.
Yeah, which we're having problems with. Sorry, I'm spinning your thing so I can get at it.
You want a chair?
No,
Okay.
I want to be able to see. That's what I
Do you
needed.
need to hold a light special for you?
Nope.
Okay.
So what happens is now you can maybe see
Yeah, no.
here that you can see the chip starting to come up.
Yeah.
So now that we got it out, it's easier that we can just go back and forth a little bit on each side, and then it will lift right up.
Gotcha. I'm going to move this out of the way. Big stupid button.
We're gonna put that there. Oh, it's a great button. I like the button. So
I
this
think
is
I do
gonna
want to
help.
make a little box for it. That'd be kind of stupid. Oh, Ryan, that came up so nice.
So now we're coming up all nice and easy, perfect. And then we pull the chip out.
Oh,
Looks pretty good.
beautiful.
We're
Here's
gonna-
a little. You can put it right on there if you
Put
want.
it on that, and you're gonna see right under here. It looks pretty good.
That looks really clean too,
Ye-
buddy.
It looks great. This is a great board, and because you again watch these traces. This one doesn't have a ton, but there are traces under here. So if you're going in it and start digging around, in
Oh,
the,
I see what you mean. If you had it in and
Yep.
you arrowed up, you could drag across that.
yeah. And some of these other chips have way more traces underneath there, and you don't want to do that. That's why you got to be very careful with how that's happening. Okay, so now that we have that going on, you'll notice that the notch is over here on
Right.
this side. So you want to make sure the notch lines up here.
I see.
Okay.
I totally see.
Do you want me to do it, or are you going to do it?
You can do it.
All right. So this is.
I break all.
I like these
I
sockets.
break all my shit. I don't want to break this one.
I like how these. I like the sockets more
Do you
so
have
than
enough
these.
light?
Yeah.
I can move that light around.
Oh, we're
I feel like that. Oh yeah.
we're in. Okay. So I tend to put the board in first. I got the one side in. Oh,
Yeah.
So the board's in.
Okay.
Boom. And then.
By the way, turn that on the side. Let everybody see how high that stands off. That
you see
actually, I expected it to be a lot closer, but the pin headers give it like an extra what?
Yes.
3 mil?
Something like that.
yeah.
So you got some extra stuff. Some things you're gonna. Oops. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Do we need to move the mat around to give it less of a bow?
Yeah.
lift up.
Not a big fan of that.
Let's do it this way, and that way you can be from there down.
Okay, that's